Hello YouTube, my name is Elizabeth and welcome back to the Owlery. Today I'm going to be doing my October TBR. My mom watches my videos religiously, and after watching for several months, she said, Zizzy, that's what they call me, my family, what is a TBR? And I was like, I thought it was kind of self-explanatory, but she was like, no, it's definitely not. So I guess for those of you who do not know, TBR means to be read. These are all the books that I'm going to read or I plan to read in the month of October. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. The first book that I want to read this month, and the one that I am most excited for, is The Black Key by Amy Ewing. It comes out on October 11th, so I don't have my hands on it yet, but I cannot wait to get my hands on this. I'm so excited. This is the third and final book in the Lone City series by Amy Ewing, and the first book is called The Jewel, and it takes place in a world where the lower class citizens who are female are taken and trained to become surrogates for the upper class citizens and have their babies, basically. And our main character is trying to find out a way to escape this lifestyle and figure out what's really going on with all the political intrigue. And it's just a great, great series. I like to relate it to The Selection, not because of story or plot or anything like that. They're very different stories, but how it's read, it's very fast-paced, it's very kind of light and fluffy, but it's got a backstory that is very serious, and it has very serious plot points and things like that, but it reads kind of like a light and fluffy book, and so I really enjoy that. They're really, really quick stories. I read the first 2 books in a weekend, and I just fell in love with the series. I cannot wait for The Black Key to come out in a couple of days. I am currently reading Crown of Midnight, and so I definitely want to pick up The Assassin's Blade and then Heir of Fire this month. I want to hurry up and get caught up with this series like everybody else is and just read. And like I said, I'm reading Crown of Midnight at the moment, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I read Throne of Glass forever ago, and I loved the book, but I just kept getting distracted by other books, of course, as is the life of a booktuber. But I'm finally buckling down. I'm reading this series, and I'm just so glad that I'm finally doing it. I love this series. It's so great. It's about Selena Sardothian, who is an assassin, and in the first book, she is trying to become the king's assassin, and she's like in this battle competition to be the king's assassin. Because if she doesn't win, I believe she's going to die. It's been a while since I've read Throne of Glass, but I think that's the gist of the story. But yeah, I'm reading Crown of Midnight right now. It's a great book, and I really, really hope I can get to the rest of the series this month. I heard that I have to read The Assassin's Blade and then Heir of Fire, but let me know down in the comments below which one you read first or in which order I should read the series. I have had My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows on my TBR for the past like 3 months since it came out. And each month I'm just too busy or I'm distracted and I can't read it, and I just need to read it this month. It's going to happen in October. I will read My Lady Jane because I have heard nothing but good things about this book. And it's not like I've heard like 1 or 2 little bad things. Like, no. I literally haven't heard one bad thing about this book, and I'm so excited to finally dive into it. If you don't know, this is written in kind of like Princess Bride style, and it follows the real person who is Lady Jane Grey, and she was the Queen of England for 8 days before her head was chopped off by the next queen, who is known as Bloody Mary. And the authors just kind of wanted to give Lady Jane Grey a happy ending or a better ending and a good story. And like I said, it's written kind of like The Princess Bride, so it's supposed to be funny, it's supposed to be taken seriously. It's definitely not an accurate historical fiction, but I'm just really excited to see what they did with this story. Tudor era England, which is like this whole time period, is probably my favorite time period of history. Like, I'm a history geek, if you guys don't know. I majored in history in college, and I just love everything about history, and so I'm really, really excited to get into this historical fiction. I picked up The Forgetting by Sharon Cameron this month from the library, and I was iffy about reading this, which is why I got it from the library and I didn't pre-order it. It doesn't sound like something that I'm going to love, but I definitely want to give it a chance. It is a dystopian, I believe, where at the end of every single year, everyone in this world forgets all of their memories. They go through a process where everyone just forgets everything. And then our main character is just unable to forget. She cannot forget. No matter how many times she goes through the process of forgetting, she just can't forget her memories. And so I'm assuming that causes problems. I don't know really other than that, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that I enjoy it. I was really drawn in by the cover. I love the purples and the golds, and it's shiny. It's really hard to tell because my library copy has like these plastic over it, which is so lame, but the letters are very shiny. It's a really gorgeous cover, and I've heard some people really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to see if I like this or not. I am currently listening to An Ember in the Ashes by Sabati here on audiobook. So this month I want to pick up A Torch Against the Night. I am loving this audiobook right now. It's so good. And I don't have the audiobook for A Torch Against the Night. And they're so expensive audiobooks, and I don't think my library has a copy of it yet. So I'm probably going to have to read this on print, and I'm kind of worried that I'm not going to like it as much because I'm reading the second one on print. But it's so good so far, so I'm really hoping that I enjoy it anyway. I love this cover. I'm really excited. I also heard that this series is getting more books in it. Like, it was announced that Sabati here signed on to do more books in this series. So I'm pretty excited about that, to see where she takes this book series. I can see a lot of different ways that this series can go, and so I'm super excited to see what she does with it, and I really hope that I can get to this one this month too. Right after I finished recording and editing and uploading my book haul from the other day, I received Crooked Kingdom in the mail, and I was just so upset that I didn't get it into my September book haul, but this will be in my October book haul. I hate when it does that, like the thing starts coming down, like, I mean, it's gorgeous. It's probably just like, look at my naked cover, isn't it beautiful? And I'm just like, no, stay in there. Anyway, sorry about that rant. I just hate when I'm talking on a video and then like the book starts coming out of its just jacket. It's like the most annoying thing ever. I'm sure that's just like a booktube pet peeve thing. Anybody else? Any other booktubers experience that? No, just me? Let me know it in the comments. Anyway, so I received this in the mail, and I was just so excited because it's so beautiful, and I really wish I had gotten into my book haul, but it just didn't happen. So anyway, this month I want to read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I have not read Six of Crows yet, so both of these are on my TBR this month, but I just can't wait. I finished the Grisha series, the first 3 books in the series. Well, these aren't like a continuation, but I finished the original 3 Grisha's trilogy a couple of months ago, and I really, really loved it. So, of course, I had to pre-order both Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom because I just needed more Grisha in my life, and I heard everyone really, really loves this series, so I'm super excited about it. They look so beautiful on my shelf. I kind of want to, like, display them this way with the red and the black and make it, like, beautiful, but no, I decided not to. I put them this way, but they're just as beautiful anyway. I love this book just because of how gorgeous it is. Like, the cover lust is real, you guys. And then I need to get to The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye this month. I actually read the first chapter of this book for my Try a Chapter tag, which I did a couple of weeks ago. And this is one of my favorite first chapters of all of the books that I read for that tag. But another book won out from this one just by a little bit, but this one was still absolutely fantastic. This is a fantasy read, but the beginning was very light, very easy to read, flowed very well, and that is definitely a winner for me when I'm first starting reading a book. I really, really enjoy a fantasy that is very light and easy and flows. But the idea of this plot is really intriguing to me as well. Apparently, our main character is the last sorcerer of the kingdom, but the synopsis, which is what I gathered from the first couple of from the first chapter that I read, but the synopsis states that our main character and a different sorcerer must compete against one another to become the king's sorcerer or something to that effect. So I'm wondering how that whole thing plays out, and this is also like based on a lot of like Russian history from what I can recall. And that just sounds really, really interesting and intriguing to me. I'm excited to see what the author does with this story. I've heard a lot of great things about the book, and I'm really excited to dive on in. Alright guys, that is it for my October TBR. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please do not forget to follow me on all of my social media, which are always linked down below. Twitter and Goodreads and Snapchat. I am on those constantly, and I would love to talk to you guys about books somewhere else other than BookTube. But thank you so much for coming to my video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!